Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about the books I have started but actually never finished. So if you just wake up or you're doing something else, get your tea or coffee ready. Let's talk about the books I have started but never finished. To be quite honest, I was never an English reader. My reading skills were really terrible. Every time when I did the reading tests or anything about reading, Mm, yeah, it's kind of like crappy, but uh I may said this many times when I started reading English books. I actually enjoy the books is when I started reading a book called The Hate You Gave. I've talked about that book a lot of times. Maybe not here, maybe somewhere else, but I've definitely mentioned that many times. When people ask me like what kind of book should I start with, and then that's always the one I recommend because first you're gonna pick the book that interests you. Second, the story has to be very exciting so you can get into it. And then third, of course, is the language. You don't want to start with nothing wrong with the classics. I mean, if you are a very experienced reader and you want to get a little bit deeper, classics are, of course, very classic. But for me, it's always very hard because the language is a little bit dry, and sometimes I have to do a lot of research on certain of references there and to understand the book. So, you know, I work whole day. Sometimes when I get home, it's just hard for me to do another kind of job to finish the reading. So that's why when I pick a book, I always see if the story is interesting, language and the style, and I want to amuse myself. So that's how I picked up The Hate You Gave, and then I started reading more and more, and then found out like you don't have to be a test good reader. You just need to be a reader, and then you can start from there. However, there are some books that you thought you'd be really interested in, especially when people recommend you, like, yeah, everyone, right? So you go all the social medias, and they're going to be like, oh, highly recommend this. This is the must read in 2021. This is must read in 2022. Things like that. I mean, books are good, but opinions on books are very subjective, right? So you got preferences. Like I'm not a fan of romance. I'm not a fan of comedy. So things like that, I have no interest in it. And even though there are a lot of really good books about romance, but I'm just not a big fan of it. So for that reason, I can't finish books like that. And then, of course, you want to come in? Okay, let me do that. Do you want to come here? Yeah. Good boy. Okay. He just finished a treat and he wanted to get up on the sofa, and I have all cables all over the place. So anyway, so I do want to talk. I'm not talking about books that are new out there. I'm talking about the books I have started probably in 2019 and actually never finished that for a few reasons. There are some books I just can't finish, so I will mark that not finished and I give for reasons why I didn't finish. So things like, especially things like self help or other things that will, I forgot what kind of books, but anyway, there's a book that teaches you how to do bullet journal, things like that. It's a very good. It is a very good book if you go to Goodreads, and it's got a good ratings there as well and a good comments as well. But the problem is for me, it is not very practical. I can't spend a lot of time on planning my journals. I can write it down. I mean, I have my own checklist, bullet journal, things like that. But I figure out I have to go very simple to keep the momentum of myself. So I have to make it very accessible for myself to continue. If there are too many steps or have to plan a lot, it's just hard for me to move forward. So if you know what I mean. So books like that, and then some books I think another one is David Hawkins. Yeah, I think that's his name. Called Can't Hurt Me. Um, I love the first. I think I love like the the first 30% of the book, or 40% of the book. I forgot. I think it's about that ratio. I love the book. I loved how he talks about his childhood stories. I mean, it's not pleasant, but how he grew up as a Navy a soldier and how he went through all the tasks and hassles and other things. I learned a lot from him, and then from there till further, and then he becomes like that little bit kind of the cult leader, is that you got to do it, you can do it, and things like that. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't really convince me. I know stories are good, stories are touching and educational at the same time, but sometimes when you read it, you just feel like, okay, if I stand in front of a mirror and talk to myself saying that you can do it today, I'm not going to be able to do it because I don't have any plans. I can't just say something, or I can't just do pep talk, and then I'll be able to do it. The same thing with your confidence. You're not going to stand in front of a mirror and say, I look beautiful today, and the whole day you will have confidence. That is something you gotta plan, you're gonna prepare, and then you're gonna do it, and you're gonna achieve something, and then you will have it. It's not just you say it or you read it and then you can learn. So those kind of books I kind of just gave up, have no interest to continue. So yeah, but there are some books, quite a lot, that I do want to finish. I just didn't get a chance to finish them. Either I got interrupted by other books or I got interrupted by other things. I do read books in Chinese as well, some kind of silly books as well. Then I got interrupted, and then I forgot. Oh yeah, I actually had that book. I forgot to continue. So this is my mission in 2022. Yes. So I want to finish all the books I started, and actually want to continue, and then I can share those books with you. So first one is letting go. I'm going to categorize those books. I have self-help and psychology kind of books. Okay, so I have letting go. Then I have the road less traveled. I have a feeling I'm not going to finish that one either. Ego is the enemy. I talked about that book, but I actually haven't finished that yet. I think I started on October 18th last year, but I just stopped right there. Okay, and I haven't started the road less traveled, so that may be the last book I will read. I have no idea. So, and letting go, I started on March 5th, 2021. I've read a lot of it because I think in March, that's when I started feeling very depressed. So I was trying to find a book to help myself. And letting go is recommended by Maggie Q. I saw that. I went to download the book and I started reading it. It is a very, very good book. I would say 80% of the content I would agree with. Only 20% I'm like, yeah, I'm not really sure that's how that works, or that's how I would do. So that's letting go. If you're looking for something that will help you to be more open-minded, to be more careless, if you know what I mean, and then that's a really good book to start with. Language-wise, it is okay. I think it's a little bit difficult just because there are a lot of terminology there, but other than that, I think it's easy to read, and you will find a lot of things relatable. Just because sometimes you just really care about what other people think. Sometimes you just really care about why that person didn't respond to your message, things like that. And sometimes you will be very jealous of something, and sometimes you will be really resentful. And why do you have sorts of feelings, emotions? And that's a book that will tell you how to let go of those emotions and feelings. The only thing I didn't really agree with is actually the title "Letting Go," because to be quite honest, you guys all know I'm currently reading the Atlas of the Heart. People have negative emotions and feelings, and when you have a jealousy, when you have envy, when you have a resentment, it is very normal, right? I think part of this book is trying to make you realize those emotions are not good, so you should let go of them. But I think A Less of the Heart is more like those feelings are not good, but that is part of us. So you are going to acknowledge them, learn them, and then do better and make changes according to them wisely. So that's why I kind of gave up the book. Some of that is really good. So if you're interested, definitely check that out. Another one I mentioned here is The Road Less Traveled. It is very famous book. It is not new. A lot of people actually recommended this book. I haven't started yet, but I started first sentence, not first sentence, I started the first page. There's one sentence that kind of really struck me at that moment. It says, life is full of uncertainties or something like that. I forgot. But it kind of reminded me every time when I have downtime, I will remind myself, like, look, life is like this, where life happens. Good things, bad things, they all happen. And then it is normal. So when you have a downtime, we are not just like, you can't make everything happen. It is normal, and it is temporary. It is not permanent. It is temporary. Everything, good or bad, they're all temporary. You will just get over it. So that's why I want to start that book. Ego is the Enemy. I really like the book, and some parts are so-so, but I like how he uses different kind of historical figures to talk about stories, give examples. I do like that. And also because I am having this channel and I'm kind of growing in a very slow speed, but I am growing. I've got you guys all sending me very warm comments and messages, and sometimes I can get a little bit, about there, and sometimes it can be as high as a kite. But I think Ego is the Enemy will drag me down to the level that I would think, you know what, you're actually nobody. The only thing you're different from other people is you make this video. Okay, so that's why I think Ego is the Enemy is always a good book to remind yourself that you are great, but other people are not bad as well. So you might be unique, other people say unique, right? So you're not superior than anyone else. So you're just you, and your ego will be your enemy to stop you learning more, to stop you improve more. So I think that is a really good book that I haven't finished yet. Yes. Another one about self-help is actually a Chinese book. Not Chinese book. It's a book that is in Chinese. I didn't find the English version, and the Chinese translations are pretty good. So it's called 内向高明者如何在外向的世界自在生存，好像是这样子的。So my comment here is this is a book that will calm you down and you will really think about yourself. So, of course, introverted, very sensitive, and especially if someone comment on this video and then I comment back, and if you didn't comment me back, and I would be like, oh, did I say something wrong? Maybe I did a bad thing and she didn't like me or something like that. So anyway, that book will show you how introverts kind of work and how they react to things and why it is not bad. I kind of learned, but because I started in February 16th, 2021, some of the parts I've already forgotten, so I had to go back and review that one more time. Hopefully I will finish that. Okay, and so of course the new book, At Last of the Heart, that is my number one. I'm gonna finish soon. So, and I will share some of the thoughts I have about the book, and I'm sure it's gonna be a few episodes to talk about this book because now it is my number one favorite book. So that is self-help or psychology-related books. Now I have biographies. So I do have a few biographies in some book that you might not be able to find it. Okay, so first one is the Fran Lebowitz read. If you know the Netflix show called Pretend It's a City, she is my favorite. She's very, very wise. And I mean, nowadays when she talks, she may offend a lot of people because, that's what New Yorker do. A New Yorker does. But I do think a lot of things are very true. I love this book. It's very, very funny. Oh, sorry. That's right. That's nonfiction. Okay, that is not a book I was talking about. Notorious RBG. That is the book I want to say. The Life and Times of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So I'm sure a lot of you know her. She's very famous, and I love this book. She has a lot of books about herself. You have to be careful to pick the one that is actually really good. There are a lot of crappy books about her, and then the narration style is really crappy. But this one I find so it has good ratings on Goodreads, and a lot of people have actually good comments about it. So that's why I picked it up. I started in January 13th, the beginning of last year, and I'm halfway through, but I didn't finish that. I think I got interrupted by another book and it went off. So anyway, so this is a book I will finish, and I will share that with you. And there are a lot of things I really like about this book because she is a feminist, but you know what? She's not like, oh, women are the best or things like that. And she also fights for men's rights as well. Men's right, yeah. So it's about equal rights. It's not about which gender is superior than the other. So that's why I really like her, and she has a lot of very, very wise and funny quotes here. And of course, I'm gonna finish that one. Another bibliography is Billion Dollar Whale by Tom Wright and Bradley Cooper. Bradley Hope. This book, yeah, okay. So I think it's a band. So you may not. First of all, you may not find it. Second of all, when you see it, you may find it a little bit offended. But I don't know. So I'm not going to talk too much about this book, but I will definitely finish it. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Another biography is the one I am going to start today. That is Kitchen Confidential. I love a lot of cooking shows and love a lot of chefs there. And Anthony Bourdain is one of them. And I like him because he's very open-minded. He's very international. When he traveled around the world, he tried different kind of food. He did not have that kind of judgmental look or comments about things he didn't know, but he was always willing to try everything and give a comment. Very, very nice guy, very interesting. He got famous because of this book. And so before he became a very famous chef, he got famous because of this book talking about, a lot of things behind the sink and a lot of things happen in the kitchen, and kind of like review the dirty part of the cooking world. So it is a very interesting book. I started a little bit already. I like the way he talked about his own stuff and stories, and it's very down to earth. Language wise, it's very simple, and stories are very interesting and unfamiliar because he's talking about cooking. So if you don't know him, he killed himself a few years ago. Yeah, unfortunately, but he has a lot of shows. I like him a lot. I love those kind of shows because he traveled a lot to try different food, to discover a lot of cultures, and even some of very controversial issues. So love him, love this book. I'm going to start when I finish, and I will share that with you. So those are the three biography. Yes. Um, Nonfiction. I have two. One is the Fran Lebowitz read. I said that Fran Lebowitz. This is her collection of essays. Very, very interesting. Some of the words are a little bit offensive, but true, right? When it's offensive, sometimes it's actually true. Yeah, I like her style, and I like the way she talks. And when you read this book, you definitely feel like that's her. That's how she talks, and you feel like she's talking right next to your ear. So that's how good this book is. So I definitely highly recommend this. But I probably won't start that until like a mid of May or mid of the year or something like that, because I do need something to excite me in the very beginning of the year, and then I'll gradually calm down and start something very peaceful. Another one is a Japanese book, but translated in Chinese, it's called 山月记. Again, I saw a recommendation on Xiaohongshu, and I thought that would be interesting, so I'm going to start it. I got a lot of good comments. I started, I think, a couple chapters a while ago when September 11th, but didn't finish that. Forgot why I didn't finish, but yeah, I will see if I can continue and complete. If I can't, I will also give reasons why I can't. So I have 10 books on the go. And yeah, and I will share the list with you. And I think that's pretty much everything. So finish the list. I didn't finish that much last year, but I'm proud of myself because I'm finishing things. So since 2019, 2020, 2021, and plus that, I've done books like this. Okay, I will continue because I didn't start to use Notion to track my reading until like 2019. So that's why some books I've done before, I have no record for that. But after that, I'm trying to do a better job about it. But yeah, let me know if you have any recommendations about books. And also let me know what you want me to talk about for future episodes. Yeah, I'm trying to get ideas. Okay, that is it. Hope you like it, and I will share the reading list somewhere else. I'll make sure you will have it. But let me know if you want to know how to set up your reading list or reading tracking log or something like that. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's really it. Okay, bye. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.